Hello everyone. Good morning for those of you who are on my side of the world, but good afternoon for the people on the other side, like Mangla. And welcome to a new episode of Empowering Voices. Today, you can already hear from my voice, I'm super excited because I'm going to introduce you a person who offers an amazing service coming from her own experience. So it's amazing. And I would have loved to meet her some years ago. It would have been a huge help. But now you'll see why. Hello, welcome. Mangla, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, and by the way, Mangla is in Singapore, so it's 6 in the afternoon for, while we are recording, while for us in UK is 11 in the morning. So, Mangla, tell what do you do in Singapore?
So I have been here since end of 2010, and I came here because of my husband's job. But I have lived in many, many countries. I grew up in London. I lived in Malaysia. I lived in Melbourne, Australia. I was in north of England, Blackpool for a while, Edinburgh and Dunfermline in Scotland, and now in sunny Singapore.
My goodness, and I
So
thought that I traveled a lot. I lived in several countries, but you beat me, definitely.
Yeah, so it's been an adventure. It's definitely been an adventure, but something that I've absolutely loved. I've absolutely loved. So I'm here because of my husband's job, and we're just enjoying ourselves. We're really having a good time. And just before the pandemic started, I decided to have start my own business in Singapore.
Very
And I
brave.
was a volunteer. Yes, I know. And who knew that it was just the pandemic was just around the corner?
Yeah.
But it was I was a volunteer at my children's school parent-teacher association for about 6 years. So I really had a great time then, enjoyed it a lot. But I found a gap in the market, and so decided to offer t-shirt printing and hoodies and things like that that they normally sell in school shops with the school branding. And that really took off despite the pandemic. It really took off. And the business was just fantastic. We were doing graduation t shirts, hoodies for the kids, water bottles, and things like that.
That's great.
But being part of this amazing expat community in Singapore, the referrals were coming in from all over. So we had clients who were Facebook Singapore became a client at the US Embassy, as well as many other international schools. So it was just incredible. And because when you work with schools, it's recurring income. So they will order, like maybe 100 t-shirts, and then in a few months they need another 100.
Yeah, sure.
So it's quite a good business. But then that was all during the pandemic, and we did really well. But then earlier this year, I thought that if I were to move again, because who knows,
Yeah.
then I would have to start from scratch all over again.
Yeah, I just want to mention that the word that you use, expat, that it took me
Yeah.
a while to get used to, because it seems always there's some politics involved, while there's nothing of that. I've been my audience, most of my audience knows that I've been an expat for 15 years. So I was in your place until very recently, actually. And as you said, you loved it, but what about when and if we are going to move again?
Yeah, we have to start from scratch all over again. It's, new schools, your husband, maybe it's a new job, a new role. It's the whole getting your head around moving each time. And then it's all the friends that you make here who become your family. When we couldn't travel back, Christmases were spent with these amazing friends because they became our family. So
Yeah,
I'm sure you have
because
that
the
same.
community becomes your support, your main support,
Yes.
because we all share the same problems, the same struggles, and the same
Yeah.
style of life. So we get closer in a much shorter time compared to
Yes.
normal life. So, and it's been, and you tell me it's for you was the same. Each time we moved, our heart was broken, but
Oh,
in
yes.
thousands pieces, for the friendship, but also for the country, because we were
Yes.
never tourists in the country. We lived, it was our country, basically, our life.
Yes, completely. That is so, so true. It was, and I sort of really dread the time, months like May and June because of the school calendar year.
Mhm.
Oh, there's one leaving party after another, and you
Yeah.
just know that come February, March, you're going to start hearing of your friends leaving, and it's an awful feeling. It
Yeah,
really
I know.
is.
Yeah. And by the way, we didn't mention, well, at the beginning of our conversation, that you chose a specific word. And now that you are talking, I can understand why. You chose the word curiosity, that I'm wearing on my t-shirt, by the way. For those of you who are watching, for those of you who are listening, yeah, the t-shirt is on my website, and the word is curiosity.
Yeah.
Why this word?
I think you have to be curious if you're going to travel. That's what makes it so fun. And I think in all the travels, it's learning about different cultures has been my favorite part.
Yeah.
And just a simple example, like in Singapore, say if you sit in a taxi or you go in, you want to go and get your nails done. The first question they normally ask, like how we would meet in England and say, "Oh, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you?" Here it's, "Have you had your breakfast? Have you had your lunch?"
Oh,
So
wow.
it's very, yeah, it's a beautiful, it's their version of how I do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a beautiful culture because they just want to make sure that,
You're
you're looking
fine.
after yourself,
Yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
it really is. And you don't say that you haven't, because then they feel like, "Oh, well, we need to get you something."
Something.
So
Yeah.
yes, because they want you to feel, they feel that if you're full up, you're a happy person and ready for the day.
That's so
So it's just
beautiful.
little cultural norms here you pick up along the way are so beautiful. And that's been my favorite part. And that's why curiosity. When you travel, you have to be curious. You can't
Yeah.
live in your little bubble.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I remember one of my most amazing experiences was in Mexico City, because it was a culture in some aspects very similar to mine from the south of Italy, but for others, something completely new. And it was amazing. This feeling of freedom to know new things and blend with
Oh,
the locals, so with the local culture, that as I said, you come out like, I felt Mexican at some point. Someone was
yeah.
asking me, but aren't you local? Because your language sounds very like a native speaker. And I
Yeah.
was very proud of that, of course, because I loved it. But as you said, every day to know a new part of the place, or new habits, new people,
Yes.
it was so nurturing. I mean, you were always, yeah, with a new adventure in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Adventure. And people made you feel welcome, like you
Yeah.
belonged.
Yeah.
And that was really, really beautiful. And food, oh my gosh, food. It just,
Okay.
you realize that every culture and every place you go, food just brings people together.
That's true. That's true. And it's one of the biggest expression of the culture of a country,
Yeah.
together with the language.
Yeah.
These two elements, once you make them yours, you
Oh,
definitely feel in the culture
yes.
completely. Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think it's just been incredible for the kids as well.
Mhm.
I mean, they will try anything. They're always up for new experiences and try new foods. Like for example, when I left England before moving to Singapore, I couldn't have any spicy food. I just
Mhm.
didn't like it. And now I eat spicier food than the locals.
Yeah.
So
I
so I
remember
really
in
enjoyed that.
Mexico, my husband, each time he tried something spicy, he started having hiccups. But of course, now you can eat like a Mexican, very
Yeah.
spicy food with no problems. That was funny. That was another funny thing.
Yeah.
But I remember the only downside of all this was that because I moved like you for the job of my husband, at the beginning, while my husband had a new role and working crazy hours, I really felt the partner who followed. And that's why I was saying that I would have loved to meet you then. I founded a publishing house, for example, in Mexico. It was very difficult in Lisbon. In Greece, I did something else. But here it comes in your other business that it has a beautiful name, expat business in a bag. This bag that it seems we are carrying with us like the cover, the Linus cover, no? Always.
Goes everywhere with us.
Exactly. So do you want to tell us what you do, the amazing service you offer?
Oh, sure. So January this year, when I realized that one of us might move and then have to start all over again and make friends, and that's when I thought, oh, this is the idea. This is what I want to help other people who are just in the same position as myself. So I help women, expats around the world, to come up with business ideas that sparks a passion in them, but it's based on their travels, their adventures. Some of these women have left incredible corporate jobs behind to follow their spouse. They've built something up for themselves. They've got a network, but they left all of that behind to follow and, see where the world takes them. But with all of that knowledge inside, there's so much they could share. So if they were in banking themselves, they could help graduates, figure out how to get into the line of work that they'd love to get. Or if they decide that they've taken a course in Peruvian cooking, for example, they could teach that.
They still can use it.
They can, yes, and our network and our passion and our adventures, I think all of it make amazing business ideas. And there are women and men around the world who aren't getting the chance that we do for travel. So and now with Zoom and everything, all the technology, that you could actually learn about. It is. You could learn about different cultures sitting in your sofa, on your sofa, anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's my second business, which I'm super excited about and absolutely loving it.
Yeah, and it's such a great support for the expat community, because apart at the beginning, the first months when you need to settle in, then you want to do something, right?
Yes.
Because we all have a passion. We don't want to sit at home on the sofa all day, right? And we all want to use our, as you said, our knowledge, our passions, and what better way. And you are the example, no? I mean, you are definitely trustable 100% because you've been there, done that, and it can be done. And there's actually this freedom brought to us from technology that makes things even more possible.
Exactly. And we could have clients. If you're teaching Thai cooking, for example, you could have people watching from England, from Spain, from Africa, and they could be learning along with you. And the best thing is that you've built, well, while it is you're building your customers, but you're building your own tribe around the world. And so on your next move, you might be, oh, I know somebody there, and they can help me. And I think a lot of it matters is when it depends on your children's age as well. When they're very young, you get to go into school and you might help with crafts and reading to the children. My kids are much older. So in the next move, I don't think my 14-year-old will want me to go into her class and do crafts with her. So I need to find my own tribe.
Yeah, but it's definitely, as you said, that is for people who love traveling. Each time you move, it's a bit like you feel lost because you don't have that tribe. But if along the way you've been building it, I mean, as you said, you maybe move to a new country where you know there are people who are following you already, and it's already another family ready to welcome you. It's beautiful. I have to say now we localized in the UK, but we are very keen to start again moving around. It's more for the children because for me it was one of the most amazing adventures I had in these 15 years. They changed me a lot for the good. And
which was your favorite country? Do you have a favorite?
Difficult to say because I left a piece of my heart in each, and friends in each who are very good friends still, of course. Mexico probably was our first experience abroad in another continent, and it was amazing. I only regret I didn't travel more, because it's always, okay, I will do it another day. No, because you start living in the country and we do that. But apart from that, it was amazing, everything, but every country and every food and everything. And these friends for life that you maybe meet again after years, but it's like you left them yesterday and you share so much, such intimate moments, because the expat life makes you sometimes vulnerable, and you need the honest support around you, and
and people who get you, people who understand, and have similar experiences. And I wonder whether you and your children have this, but we get very excited when we're traveling and we recognize certain accents. We squeal. It's like, oh, that person's from Thailand, or they're speaking Thai.
You're right.
Oh, we get.
No, I have
so
this
excited.
thing. If I hear someone speaking in Mexican, I have to talk to them. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, same here. And my kids are older, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, there she goes again."
My daughter, who is 13 also, she is in the face. She's a bit embarrassed, and she said, "But you talk with anyone?" Yes, that's the beauty of life.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's very important you said people who get you, because sometimes some people can see only the glamour of the expat life, that there is something, because this freedom of movement and thoughts, it's quite unique. But then there are a lot of struggles as well, not only in the professional life, where fortunately we have you to help, also in the everyday life. If you think if you arrive in a country where I was fortunate, very lucky, and I was in countries where I could speak the language or they understood very well English, but new country, new language, no family around. These beautiful things of family babysitting, no way. I never experienced it. New food, new school, new doctors, new everything. And those first months for me were always between 3 and 6. Were not easy.
No, not at all. And I think, again, it depends where your kids are at. If your kids settle well in school and find friends, oh, that's half the battle won.
Yes,
but if they don't, then you're stressing about them and you're trying to get advice from people. Okay, do I register here, the doctor, insurance, and all of that? But one thing I found recently with friends that we've been having conversations is that our parents are getting older back home. And we feel really far from them, and you feel a little torn as well, that you should go back often and see how they're doing, but you're also having a life outside of that, and you've got work, and you've got the kids have a life, and the kids are at certain ages where they shouldn't leave school now. So it is like you said,
Because I
Because
remember when we lived in Mexico and then straight after in Lisbon, my daughter was still very young. So I spent also when I went to visit my parents, I spent even 1 month with them. But then, as you said, when the school, more serious school starts,
yeah,
this time reduces. And then you are between having a life that you love and the guilt of
yes,
going to the aging parents. In fact,
yeah,
this is another reason why we localized to
yeah,
be closer to
closer.
our parents. But at the same time, I mean, they are choices, right? And
Yes,
our
yes,
parents, they are
absolutely.
definitely very happy if we're
Yes,
happy. So it's not
yes,
that we neglect them. It's a
yes,
different way. Also for us, it's a bit easier to jump on a plane, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
we start
yeah.
taking planes like buses. So
No, absolutely. And I think if you're the trailing spouse, like as a woman, if you're the one following your husband's job, so it's, the company will choose a country for you. And then you're figuring out the kids' schools and which age group. Okay, we can leave at this year, or we have to
yeah,
wait 2 years here. So we get stuck sort of in the middle. We're just going in the waves. It's, the
yes,
husband's job and the
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
So I think we definitely need to hang on to something for us,
yes,
something we need
totally.
to look forward to, because otherwise we just get caught up with everybody else's lives and making sure everybody else is settled. And they go on, they make their friends, they have their routines. And then suddenly we realize we're here and gosh, I haven't really met many people. And I've
Yeah.
been here 3 months and now I need to go out. And so it's, yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons to it.
Yes, definitely. But still, I would choose it.
Yes, yes, yeah, totally. Totally. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it very much.
Yeah, that's beautiful because I mean, this feeling of thinking that everything is possible, it's very positive for your
Yes.
emotional well-being. And
Yeah.
then you realize that it's even true. It's not just a dream or just magic happen. I mean, still you have to work
Um,
hard to get there, but everything is
yeah,
possible.
but everything. And you realize that while borders might divide us, there's humanity unites us because
Yeah.
we're meeting people who have similar values to us.
Yes.
And you have such amazing conversations with people. And you learn so much about yourself and about other people.
Of course.
So it's a
And as you
beautiful experience.
Yes, and as you said, the word curiosity, I always remember when you meet the new people and you start asking, "Oh, where are you from? And what did you do before this country?" And
Yeah.
all these experiences from other people, but they feel you because, and you
Yeah.
feel so motivated and so many positive feelings that they balance, of course, maybe the whatever struggle in real life with the practicalities, let's say, because you
Yeah.
mentioned insurance, for example. Well, that's another chapter. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
long conversation.
Yes. Yeah. And then when you start, oh, which insurance do you have? I have this. Yeah, but I had this problem. They didn't cover it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's
Yes,
a total
that's
new world.
yes,
That's
completely.
beautiful. Oh, you took me all on these beautiful memories I have. It seems so long ago. Actually, we localized 2 years ago, so it's
Oh,
not
so
that
it's not
far
that
away.
long.
No. But
Not that long.
you start thinking differently. I have to
Yes,
recognize it's
yes.
different. It's a phase, and again, maybe we will jump on the expat train again.
Oh, exciting.
So, I want to ask you if you have any other word or quote that you feel it's a bit a guidance for you in what you do, in what are your plans for the future?
I think COVID has shown us that life is so unpredictable.
Mm.
And I just want I want this for my family. I want this for everybody else. You've got to do what you love.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that. You don't want to live with regrets. So every
Yes.
day, even, I know as grown-ups, we have our duties, we have responsibilities, but even a little bit every day, if you do something you love, oh, there's no better way to live.
This is a
No
beautiful
better way to live.
suggestion. Yeah, for everyone. I always say, I mean, your passion first, not in terms of priorities based on responsibilities, but it has to happen a bit every day, as you suggest, is ideal, whatever it is, because it's the
Whatever,
way
yeah.
to nurture your soul to feel motivated and
Yes.
productive and keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, keeps
We
you
need a
going.
bit of beauty and passions in life. Otherwise, it's so it's
Yeah,
just responsibilities. We don't want that.
yeah. No, we don't want to be grown up all the time. We want to have that little
Exactly,
childish.
exactly. Well, that's beautiful. I told you I was very excited. And another question: what is, because you asked me, is there a favorite country among the
Oh,
ones you lived in?
oh my gosh. Yeah, it is a very tough question when
Yeah.
people ask you. Oh, I loved Melbourne. I think Melbourne was just beautiful. I loved Edinburgh as well.
Yeah.
Edinburgh was, oh, we lived just, we could see the castle from where we were living. So
Oh,
I
that's
absolutely
beautiful.
loved that. And Singapore. Gosh,
Yeah.
Singapore is just incredible,
Yes,
incredible place.
Singapore is definitely on my wish list, together
Oh,
with
you should come.
Tokyo. Yeah,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes, gosh, yes. Oh, you must come. It's a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly, because my children were in the international school, so with many
Yeah,
expats, and we had many people coming, moving from Singapore to London,
Singapore.
and I mean, there the things, the stories they told us, the
Oh,
way of life, and yeah, it makes it like the magic place.
it is. It really is because it's one of the safest places we've ever lived.
Yeah, yeah.
You can leave your door unlocked, your car's unlocked, your phone on the beach, and
Wow.
nothing will happen. Yeah,
That
incredible,
sounds like
incredible.
dream. Okay, I want
Yeah,
to. Okay, my next
it's
move is towards
yes,
that.
yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for this
Oh,
conversation. Thank you for make me feel so well. I'm sure my audience loved it, and I just want to remind everyone that in the post in bio or on my website, on YouTube, everywhere, there will be the contacts to reach out and get the support you need in your next move without
oh,
leaving behind your passions.
yes,
That's
yes.
amazing. Thanks a lot.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you for being
you.
with us, and
Oh,
speak
thank
to you
you.
soon.
Really. Yeah, I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you.
Bye.